Hi everyone. I thought today we would talk about something that I'm pretty sure that it's on some of your minds about what's going on today. And it's kind of a heavy day, to be honest. Today is the day that we lost Mom 5 years ago. And it's just been weird. 5 years ago, Mom died. It's kind of crazy. Feels like just yesterday, and at the same time, it feels like a million years ago. So, yeah, it's really heavy. But I thought I'd talk about a few things because over the years, people have been really confused, hurt, and angry about why the things happened the way that they happened. And I'm going to talk just a little bit about some stuff. Maybe down the line I'll talk about more. But today I thought just kind of like high level what my interpretations are, the meaning behind my mom's death, and what I think she's doing. So, if you're not into, or if you don't believe in an afterlife, energy shifting from one place to another, then I suggest you don't watch this video. This isn't for you. But if you guys believe in heaven or the other side, then sure, keep watching. Because we don't know. I don't know. But this is what I think happened. This is what I think is happening. And I could be right, I could be wrong, who knows? Let's just talk about it. So, 5 years ago, Mom died. And a lot of you, well, all of you, were very shocked. So were we. Mom hid her illness. She even hid it from us. I didn't know she was going to die until just a few days before she passed. So, yeah. I think Mom's passing, of course, was really crappy. How it happened. But looking back and looking at the bigger picture of it all, I think there was a reason. The reason I think why everything happened is because she needed to help make an energy shift. She couldn't do it in her physical form. She needed to go back to the other side and help with a shift that has been happening and is happening and will continue to happen. So what I mean is, Mom had been sick on and off for a while. I'm not going to go into all the nitty-gritty details, but Mom was ill, and she thought it was one thing, and it was something else. And she knew how she wanted to treat it. However, and this is where I think one of her life lessons came into play, is she cared too much about what other people would think about her. She knew she wanted to go the natural route, but at the time, it was still stigmatized, illegal, and not talked about. It's very hush-hush. And when you're a police officer's wife or a retired police officer's wife, she was really afraid about it negatively impacting my dad and what people thought about my dad and everything, and them in general. So my mom hid it. She hid her illness, and then by the time she felt comfortable about trying to do something, looking back, it was a last-ditch effort to try to save her life. Do I believe if my mom started her natural regimen earlier, would she be alive? I think so. I think so. But it is what it is. So, Mom hid her illness from us, for the most part, and, well, especially Ian and I. And she was taking the natural stuff, and it was starting to work, and it was wonderful. There's a little bit of side effects that no one was really talking about, because at the time, there really wasn't a lot of literature about how effective it was, how much to take, and when you take it, what happens to your body, all that kind of stuff. So Mom was trying to document and go along, because it was her plan, to do this natural route of medicine, heal herself, and then later write a book or whatever and talk about it so that other people wouldn't feel ashamed or feel the negative stigma, and kind of know how to go about it. So she was taking the cannabis oil on the down low, and there's some side effects. Not bad, just some side effects. But she hid it from everyone. So that's the thing. She was so concerned about her Facebook presence and all of her friends and our family and all that stuff that they would think negatively of her for taking cannabis oil to heal her cancer. At one point, we had family friends come out to visit my parents. She stopped her medicine because she didn't want them to know. So let that sink in. She was so worried about how other people would perceive her and judge her and my father and our family and everything they worked for just because of this stupid plant. Not stupid, life-saving plant. But she was so concerned that she stopped taking the meds. That was working. It was working. And she stopped. And then after they left, she picked it up again. But it was too late. So, long story short, she continued taking the meds, but it was too late. She was trying her best. When it happened, it happened. It was a huge shock for all of us. Can't speak. Shock for me. I won't speak for my brother, and I won't speak for my dad. But it was a huge shock. Didn't think it was going to happen because she was doing so much better and she was making leaps and bounds. And then she stopped taking the meds because company came in from out of town and she didn't want them to know. So, 5 years later, looking back, I went through, and I'm continuing to go through the grieving process. At first, I was just like dumbfounded, like, what? I'm 31 years old. My mom croaked all of a sudden, to me, all of a sudden, and what? So I kind of went through the normal kind of like shock, sadness, and then a year or two later, I was angry, freaking angry. She worried more about what the world thought about her than trying to get healthy for herself and for her family. I was really freaking angry, and I kind of showed it on Facebook. Her choices, I don't agree with, didn't make sense, still doesn't really make sense, but kind of looking back at it, she was operating out of fear. So, it's still really hard to handle, but I'm trying to have a more worldly look on it. So my mom helped a lot of people on her side with coaching, with her friendships, with her family, all that stuff. Really great. But I think energetically, she's doing more on the other side. If it's through having cannabis and all of that stuff becoming more mainstream so more people are healed or their ailments are lessened because of it, great. I'm all for it. All for it. If mom was helping with that whole like shifting of our culture and the thought process of what's good, what's bad, great. I think she's helping with that, and I think she's helping with other things. Also, like when I was in my angry spot a couple years ago, I'm not really quite sure, I told her I don't want to talk to her. I know it sounds weird, but my mom and I used to talk to each other all the time. And then when she died, I used to talk to her all the time. And then I just stopped. I was like, I'm so freaking angry with you. Do not visit me. Don't talk to me. Don't come into my dreams. Nothing. And lately, the last 6 months or so, I've been welcoming her back if she wants to come back. Let me put it this way. I don't think she's been coming back, or if she does, it's not when I am aware. I don't dream about her, or if I do, I'm yelling and screaming at her, or she's yelling and screaming at me. I don't have any like those really wonderful dreams where she comes to visit me and offer me words of wisdom, I don't get any of that. Sometimes I might get like, a little message here and there. Like today when I was putting on my makeup, I heard one of her favorite songs come on Pandora, but I don't get, she used to joke before she was sick about how she would haunt us. Like if she ever were to die early, she would haunt the F out of us. And I kind of thought after she died that she would. And because she said, she's like, I'd move crap. I'd be like, she's like, I'd do things like to let you know that I was around, like joking, like. So I thought that she would. She hasn't really. I mean, I'm open to stuff happening, or with my mom, with the white light and everything, but I haven't noticed anything. I thought she would like show up. Sorry, I need to sit. I thought she would show up to the kids. Nope. Or at least they haven't said anything. Yeah, it's just a lot of weird things that I thought were going to happen haven't happened, or maybe they will down the line. Maybe if I'm in a better place. And at the same time, I also think that she's giving me space so I can find my way, which I have been. Because my mom, when she used to get really angry at me, she used to tell me, if I ever die, you would never know what to do because I hold this family together and all that stuff. And we're doing it without my mom. Like she used to threaten how we were incapable of doing stuff. And we're doing it. I mean, it's really unfortunate that, clearly, that my mother passed away. But at the same time, I don't think I would have made the choices that I have made. Like having as many children as I've had, or living across overseas. I would never have done that. Or if we were forced to, I would have been kicking and screaming the whole way. Feeling guilty about leaving my mom behind. My dad's wife would never have found my dad, or they wouldn't have found each other, and that she could, experience a love and marriage with my dad. So there's that. Yeah, I mean, my mom passed away. It's horrible. It's awful. But at the same time, like new opportunities arose that never would have happened if my mom were alive, or maybe they would be different. Yeah, I mean, do I miss my mom? Yeah. But do I miss the crap that she used to pull and the weird dynamic between us? No, not at all. Don't miss it at all. I used to feel guilty about that, and I'm almost there about not feeling guilty. Like, I don't miss that. I miss my mom as a person, but I don't miss the weird stuff, the toxic weird stuff. I don't miss that. So, I mean, that's been one positive about it, is that I don't have that, but at the same time, I'm working through all that stuff so I don't do it to my own kids. So, it's just one less thing for me to deal with, or complication, or distraction. I don't have that really physical relationship with my mom right now, so I can focus on myself, heal old family wounds and legacies, so I don't pass it on to our kids. At least that's what I'm hoping. I'm working really hard on it, so I don't do it. But yeah, I have people tell me that mom comes and visits them, or sends them a memo of some sort, like through dragonflies, or hummingbirds, or songs, or whatever, and that's really great. I'm really appreciative people tell me about that. I don't really get stuff like that. It's just weird to me, especially how she used to, jokingly when I was younger, used to talk about how she would haunt me, and I don't know. To me, I think she's busy doing her own thing up in heaven or on the other side, shifting, helping energy shift, helping things along. Because my mom was a preemie. I don't know how early. No one knows. No one remembers. But my mom was a preemie, so she came into this world early, and she left the world early, only at 57. So I think she was in a hurry to experience life, learn her lessons, what she was supposed to learn, and then get get back there to do what she needs to do. And that's what I think she's been doing. Do I think she checks in every once in a while? Sure, I believe she checks in. I mean, all of you are examples of when you guys told me she sends you memos. I'm sure she checks in. Not to me as much. Or if she does, she's on the down low. Maybe more later. But for right now, it is what it is. So, like I said, maybe in the future I'll talk more about my mom and her passing, but it's been 5 years. Life has gone on. I mean, there are still times where I tear up and I get angry, like, why? Like, why my mother but not yours? I know that sounds terrible, but my mom, like, took care of herself. And it was just really hard. For the longest time, I was like, why my mom, who was like a health nut, she croaks, but while other people are chugging sodas, smoking, eating fast food, they're still alive, but my mom's dead. Like, that's a mind trip. And then you're like, what the hell's the matter with me? Why am I wishing somebody else's parents would be dead? I don't wish anyone else's parents to be dead or loved ones, but those were the thoughts I was going through for a very long time. But yeah, so now I finally get peace with it. I kind of see the bigger picture. I don't know if I'm 100% correct or correct at all, if there's any grain of truth, but I think she needed to go to do what she needed to do, but then also let us, my dad and my brother, and myself, figure things out, for us to do things our way, so we can become who we're meant to be. And I don't think my mom necessarily was a hindrance, but I think we wouldn't have done or made certain choices if she were still alive. So, thinking today is rough. I mean, I always hate this time of year because I live through the last few months of my mom's life, and then especially the day that she died. That was a weird day. That was a weird day. But yeah, everything's okay. I mean, I can't speak for my brother or for my dad, but we're all good. I mean, for the most part, we're all good. My dad is in a loving marriage. My brother is in a loving marriage with his wife, and they're happy moving forward. And we are chugging along with all of our kids and stuff. And if you ever have lost a parent, it does get better. The grief is always there. It just changes. It goes through cycles. Some days I'm just really pissed off at my mom. And other days I'm chill. Like today's one of those days where I'm chill. Made peace with it, and I'm sure in a few weeks I'll probably be angry again. But it's just life. All I could say to somebody is just feel those feelings, but try not to make yourself feel guilty about stuff. Like, allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, to have those thoughts, and then just let it go. Move on. Do something that you love, like listen to some music, go for a walk, do some art, cook. I don't know. Do something that you love, and just move on. You don't want to dwell on those feelings for too long. Yeah, so that's my first video. And if you guys have any questions or would like me to talk about something else, you can put it down in the comments below, and I'll look at it and see where we go next. All right, thanks for watching.